Hello, Ken Weller here with New Tech Inventors. It's been a very, very busy week. I hope to do some stuff at the print farm. We did quite a few things down there, not so much with the printers. I was going to try to get several more printers, my Electronics all set up and running. Didn't get to that. The priority has been on assembly of parts for the helping hand for the website so that it'll be ready to go hopefully the 1st of August. And a lot of website work, a lot of assembling parts and getting parts ready for that starting inventory, and just a lot of odds and ends. So I've put some of them together just to show you a little bit about what's been going on. I wanted to get a video out. I was hoping it would be about the Electronics XY2 Pros or something like that, but no such luck. Most of this stuff I didn't videotape it because it's very boring stuff that I've been doing, this assembly, but we'll give you a little insight to a few things that have been going on around here. And in about another week or two, I hope to have everything caught up and under control. And we may have some time this weekend to do a few things. I have several print jobs that I have to run down there at the print farm for this inventory that I'm building for the startup. So I'll have the camera down there and we'll document some of that for you. So let's go ahead and get started with a few of these clips and show you what we've been doing this week. Okay, what we're doing now, we're in our GoDaddy account, and I've got two sales here. My son Rick, I had him go through the process and order some parts, let it withdraw funds from his PayPal account and transfer them over to mine and so forth, testing out the system. And then Julia, that's helping me with the website, I see she ran a test order through today also. So we're testing the website. Everything's looking good. We've got almost all the parts in that we're going to initially start selling. The pieces are coming together. I have about 70 man hours left of assembly work to have the base starting inventory that I want to start with when we launch the website. We're not going to advertise or anything. I want to start out real slow, have a few sales. That way, if there is any kind of a problem or bug, I have fewer people that I have to work with to resolve any issues. But if we get through the first couple weeks with no issues, then we can start doing some promotion and try to start building our sales. Well, got the wall back together, got the insulation back in, got the plywood back up. Just have to put some cover plates on the electrical. But boy, that air sure does feel cool. Feels good. Running at about 76 degrees right now. Another thing we've been working on, we've got our label printer here. And as you can see, I've been generating some test labels. So we've got these standard 4x6 labels. This is what we'll be printing the USPS and UPS shipping labels with, and we'll be printing them on this printer here. I'll do a little test print here. Okay, so we're going to click on print here and test print. So we're doing two things, experimenting a little bit now with some of the stuff we'll have here. I can also scan these labels, and I'll probably be setting up some kind of an inventory system down there at the print farm and have bins for the parts. And then whenever we make some parts, I'll have a portable scanner and that has a keypad on it, and then I'll be able to just go down there and scan that bin and enter the number of good parts that came off the printer that go into that bin. So that way I'll be able to keep up with inventory. And then the same thing, whenever we ship something through the website, it's keeping track of how many that we're selling, and we'll input that number periodically, maybe daily, maybe twice a week or something, and that will update inventory as far as taking parts out of inventory. So we need to have some kind of an inventory system, because I already have over 40 parts in the system that we need to keep track of, and I believe it won't be long before I'll probably have 60, 70, or 80 parts. So as that number grows, it'll be good to have some kind of automated inventory control system in place, and something that's simple and easy for us to use. And I keep using the word we and us. It's me and I alone. Even by myself, I need to make things as simple as possible. Now, if things take off, sales take off, then you betcha I'm going to hire somebody to help me. And the first thing they're going to do is this assembly work that I spend hours on. Just despise doing it. I really hate repetitious assembly work. Taking the same part and putting a sleeve on it, and then a piece of heat shrink, and heating it and shrinking it, then grabbing another part and just repeating that same process over and over. And I'm having to do that on a lot of parts, and same thing with soldering. I could definitely use some help there. Yeah, we're starting to get a few things set up. We've got our power run in here to the area where we're going to have our resin printers, and possibly even an ABS printer in here. That's our exhaust ventilation duct. And I'm putting plexiglass up over this front area, and going to have a plexiglass door so we can seal this whole booth off from the outside and have its own ventilation in here, so that we don't have to worry about fumes from the resin printers or from anything we're printing ABS. So anyway, it's a start. I still have another, I have another resin printer up at the house I need to bring down, but we'll get to this as time permits. It's been pretty hectic the last few days. We've been trying to get a lot of parts assembled and ready for the website, and I've got these different sizes of heat shrink. I've got a little cutting board here, razor knife, cut those into little pieces of heat shrink that I use, and then the corrugated tubing, having to cut this corrugated tubing into specific lengths like this, and then from that assemble them, take these clamps, and end up making these helping hand clamps. And the same thing with these LEDs, these flex arm LEDs that'll be on the website and part of the helping hand. Also the alligator clamps. I've been making a lot of those. So this has been doing a lot of hot gluing, heat shrinking, so forth. These still have to have the connectors soldered on the end and the conduit put over the wire. So lots of work. Let's test this thing out here. Okay, Got a nice cut. We'll run this through the grinder in there to smooth off the edges a little bit. Okay, picked up this little grinder here. From Harbor Freight Tools today, $49. And I'm going to be using it to cut this 5/16 rod. I just cut this little piece off the end to test it, and it's very quick and clean. So I'm going to be buying next week. I'm going to go pick up some 20-foot lengths of this rod and set up a jig for this thing so I can feed that 20 feet in and cut off 10-inch, 12-inch, and 15-inch lengths of this rod. That'll be used for the helping hand table mount, portable mount. So, just one more little notch in my gun there. It looks like this thing's going to work all right. I have some larger ones, but it's hard to get an accurate cut. But this one's small enough where the pieces will go in there. I think I'll get a more accurate, cleaner cut with this than with those big 14-inch wheels. Okay, in a business like this, you're doing things that you've never done before, and sometimes you just don't have the right tools. For example, these pop-on little end pieces, it is almost impossible to put these on by hand. It takes so much force. It's just very difficult to do, and we have to take them apart because there's a screw that goes in here on this large magnifier, which is one of the helping hand parts, and that's how it attaches to this frame that we 3D print. And so I need to get this piece on here. It, like I said, takes so much force I'd end up messing up something trying to do it. So what I did, I went to Harbor Freight Tools, looked around, found this little clamp that is intended for sheet metal or for welding, and it's flat. And if you look in here, I've cut notches in the side of it. So those notches will fit right in here. I can slide this thing in like that. Then I can put this piece on top, and then when I bring it down in that position right there, I just squeeze and that's it. It just snaps right on. So sometimes you just have to improvise and be creative and come up with a tool that you can make that makes the job a whole lot easier. So a little $9 or $10 vice grip clamp and a little bit of grinding with my Dremel cutter tool over there, cut that out and made it work. Now on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, but that's going to be to open, to separate these, to take them apart. So thought I'd show you that. As you can see, we've got some of our cameras set up here. We've got 8 of the 16 cameras connected so we can monitor this area. And over here is where we have our network, UPS for this stuff, for the network and for the DVR. So I've got to get this stuff cleaned up a little bit, get it in place. But here's our power receptacle to power this, and our cables coming in from all over the place.